If knights were naught but gang-banging thugs, where did chivalry come from? Much less courtesy and courtly love. What is the peace of God, and how does it differ from the truce of God? These and other questions will be answered right after this. I am Professor Jerome Arkenberg, and I have been teaching a wide variety of history courses at colleges across this country for the past 30 years. In this video, I'm going to tell you about the peace and truce of God, chivalry, courtly love, courtesy, and round table events. At the end, I'll have the wrap-up quote in this video. But first, make sure to click like, share, and especially subscribe, and that little bell thingy, so I can continue to bring you more great videos just like this one. Oh, and by the way, you see behind me? The medieval love boat. In the 12th century, as an offshoot of the Papal Revolution, the church decided to bring an end to the violence of the gang-banging knights. And, supported by kings and lords whose business was being cut into and affected by the violence and chaos brought on by their own vassals, started with the Truce of God, wherein no acts of violence or private warfare was to be tolerated, outside of Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. This was accompanied by the peace of God, as illustrated here, wherein no acts of violence or harm was to be inflicted on women of any class, even serfs. Clergy, that's again shown here, free or servile peasants, or traveling merchants. Along with more contact with the more culturally advanced and mannered Byzantines and Arabs during the Crusades, the peace and truce of God led the medieval nobility, especially the thuggish knights, to adopt a code of conduct, which we know as chivalry. The code of chivalry required knights to act with gentility, nobility, and follow the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, as first seen in the Song of Roland, which was written around the year 1100, where Roland, the ideal knight, is known for his loyalty, prowess, and fellowship. Simultaneously in the south of France, or as no one ever calls it, South France, singing knights known as Troubadors began singing and writing of the joys and subtle pains of love. This movement came to be called courtly love, not courtney love, but courtly love. The songs and poems of courtly love revolved around personal honor and the unrequited love for the wife or daughter of one's lord, who is always beyond the reach of the common knight. Even though, of course, the wife of the lord may well be the same age as the knight. Courtly love did much to civilize knights, in its wake bringing manners, higher regard for women, slightly higher regard for women, and a slightly less patriarchal society. By the year 1200, in the epic known as Parsifal, Love and Christian Duties had been added to chivalric ideals. And by 1300, chivalry included equestrianism, jousting, hunting, faith, hope, charity, justice, strength, moderation, and loyalty, all of which came to be called courtesy. By the later Middle Ages, the lords, who saw themselves as superior to the knights, began emulating their values and lifestyle, much like, if you know anything about it, the ranchers and cowboys in America's Old West. The ranchers were, of course, the wealthy ones. The cowboys were just local employees, kind of regarded as scum of the earth, which many of them were. But then you started to hear a whole bunch of songs and stories about the greatness and the glories of the common and humble cowboy, and suddenly even the ranchers start to want to act like a cowboy. It's a similar thing. In the Middle Ages, this emulation of the lifestyle was notably seen in round table events, where kings and lords would dress as Arthur, Lancelot, Tristan, Roland, Parsifal, Galahad, Gawain, and others, and around a specially built table round would feast, dance, and set off on quest. Yes, they're doing cosplay and LARPing. The wrap-up quote. The lady says, "You claim to be numbered among the knights, yet I discern in you much that is contrary and harmful to that state. For knights, by their nature, should have thin and graceful calves, and a foot of moderate size, longer than it is wide, as if it had been formed with a certain touch of art. I see that your thighs, on the contrary, are fat and round, and your feet are huge, and as wide as they are long." Andreas Capellanus, around 1185 AD. Let me know what you think of this quote in the comments section below. Also, what you liked about this short video, and what other historical topics or subjects you'd like to see in future videos. Be sure to click like, share, and especially subscribe, as it will help me bring you more great videos. And make sure to click on that little bell thingy so you'll know when the next History Awaits for No One video is posted. If you want to know more, there are recommended studies on this topic in the description below, along with other ways to connect with me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the past.